Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
And I'm student meteorologist Jessica Kirk.
Yesterday was a rainy day, and today's been a cloudy day and a very warm day because of that warm front that's been passing through our region.
Yes, unfortunately, that fall weather has not hit us yet. Not only was it warm today, it was extremely humid. That summer weather felt like it came back for today, even though we're almost in November.
Yeah, really. I was in class most of the day, and I didn't feel that mugginess until I came back outside to go down to the studio, and it really hit hard. Like, I haven't felt those kind of muggy conditions in a couple weeks now, but luckily we're going to start to see a cold front push through our area later on this week, and it's going to bring back colder temperatures and drier dew points. It's going to feel a lot more like fall here in Tallahassee.
Exactly, and now that's not going to hit until after Halloween, so we are unfortunately going to have another bit of a muggy day tomorrow, but we will get onto the details about that later.
Yeah, tomorrow can be a warm and muggy Halloween, unfortunately. But I'm still excited. I haven't dressed up for Halloween in what feels like ages now, and I'm finally going to do it again here my senior year of college. So that's a little bit exciting for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dressing up is always fun, but I'm definitely not going to be wearing anything with long sleeves, any sort of long clothes, because it's just still hot. We're still in those summer-like temperatures, and it's going to be humid once again.
Yeah, luckily my costume is more of a summertime costume. I'll have some swimming trunks on, maybe a Hawaiian t-shirt, so it's not going to be too bad for me at all. Perfect for tomorrow's temperatures. But now I'm going to pass things off to the overview with Zach.
Happy Halloween Eve, Tallahassee. Yeah, it was kind of a cloudy day out there today. As you can see, 81 right now. We got that southeasterly wind, keeping things nice and juicy out there. Really feels much like summer. As you can see the satellite and radar here, we have these showers and thunderstorms off here to our west, moving from that southwest to northeast direction. It's behind that warm front that moved through yesterday that gave us that huge temperature shift. You're going to still see those onshore winds before the cold front comes through. Tonight in Tallahassee, 73 degrees, partly cloudy skies, winds south at 5 miles an hour, still going to keep that same pattern. Tomorrow, you can see the huge division. We're going to talk more about this front here in the upcoming segments. We've got the cooler weather here off to the west, warmer off to the east. We got 85 here in Tallahassee. Headlines, the cold front moving through tomorrow. Temperatures could be in the 40s, and the Halloween forecast, boo, spooky stuff as we get into the rest of your evening. Now, I'm going to pass it off to Maddie with a look at your southeast.
Thank you, Zach. We're going to start off with the southeast by looking at our current temperatures. For most of Florida, we're seeing in the 80s, very warm for this time of year, 81 in Tallahassee, getting all the way down to 87, up to 87 in Tampa. We see the change in temperatures as we move a little bit more towards the west. This is because of the cold front that is coming through 55 in Shreveport, 51 up in Little Rock, and you can see that temperature difference before that front moves in. For our dew points, we do see very high dew points. This is not very common for this time of year. These are high dew points for any time of the year. Right now, 74 in Tallahassee, 71 all the way up in Montgomery. We do see those dew points shift a little bit in Shreveport at 54. These will change as the cold front moves in throughout the rest of the week. And you can see those dew points going to our heat indices, and this is where we see those hot temperatures. This is our feels like temperature. 78 right now in New Orleans. Definitely muggy out there. 86 even though it's close to the end of October in Tallahassee, even down to the upper and lower 90s for Tampa and Orlando. So definitely not cool out there, not feeling too good, but that'll all change after these fronts move in. So all of that muggy and dreary weather that we've been feeling has been because of that warm front that has moved through parts of the southeast. That's going to move out of the way as this cold front that's just passing through Texas makes its way over through the southeast for the next coming of days. This is where you see all these cloud coverage and all these spotty showers that you're seeing over the southeast. Those will be also making their way out to the coast as that cold front moves through. Zooming in for our satellite and radar for parts of the Panhandle in Alabama, we do see some spotty showers here moving through across the region. Really not too much of a risk for severe weather. We might see some spotty thunderstorms, but nothing too much to worry about. As we move a little bit north towards the east coast, we're seeing once again spotty showers, so overall overcast conditions, and that's because of that warm front that came through. All of these will be making their way out through the region, leaving us for clear and nice temperatures for the rest of the weekend. This is where we see the shift of the cold front moving through. You can see all of that dry air that is left behind, leaving us for a great Friday and a great Saturday coming up and a great weekend ahead. But before that comes through, we're going to see some cooler conditions and some rainy conditions, definitely tomorrow and into Friday morning. Looking at our wind speed and direction, because of that warm front that came through, we're seeing a big southerly flow coming up from the Gulf, bringing a lot of that moisture, which is bringing up those dew points and heat indices. Right now, 10 miles per hour in Tallahassee for the southerly flow, up in Montgomery, 9 as well, and we're seeing those continue up into the southeast. Our storm outlook right now, nothing too much to worry about. We are in a slight marginal risk for some of the southeast, but nothing too much. As we see tonight's forecast, Tallahassee clear, and as that cold front starts to move in, we're seeing some of those storms move into the area. And for tomorrow's forecast, we're looking like a nice day. Even though we do have some showers towards the evening, those will be moving out of the way for much of the eastern coast. I'm going to pass things off to Chris now for our first look at the local.
Thank you, Maddie. As once again we're going in, we got some partly cloudy skies. So you can see the sun peeking through the clouds, so you can get a little bit of a glimpse of a sunset over Doak Camel Stadium, brought to you by a WeatherStand camera. Right now on our almanac, we're sitting, today was 83 degrees. We're about halfway in between our average temperatures and our record high. So we're feeling pretty warm, and look at this low we had today. It's only 7 degrees shy of our average high for the month. And that's because of warm front came through. We have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere that's going to keep us feeling warm. Currently, right now, our temperatures are in the lower 80s, with the lowest point being 76 degrees in Donaldsville. But when we're moving into these very spooky dew points, as they're all sitting in the upper to mid 70s, which is going to be raising our heat indices all the way up to the mid 80s, with Apalachicola feeling almost like 90 degrees. It's only feeling like 89, but still, like, Perry, I was covering that up. That is 90 degrees. But it's feeling very warm because of we're getting a lot of air coming up off of the Gulf that's raising our dew points. On our satellite radar, you can see the storms moving in from the southwest, moving northwest. It's going to be passing roughly past Tallahassee area. We're not going to be affected by this storm that came through Wednesday, today. My apologies, I don't know what day it is. Moving on to these clouds are going to be moving through the area. Some spotted showers are going to be coming in, affecting your trick-or-treating hours. Here's if you're taking your kids out trick-or-treating. So you will want to be weather aware, bringing your ponchos or umbrellas, making sure your costumes don't get too ruined by the rain. Tonight's forecast, we're going to be sitting very warm in the 70s for the night. We're going to be mostly cloudy for all the area, with the exception of Bainbridge is going to have a chance for thunderstorms this afternoon. Tomorrow's forecast, though, it's thunderstorms throughout the area. You got your highs in the mid 80s. For your trick-or-treating forecast, as I alluded to earlier, expect some rain showers. It is going to be feeling pretty warm at 7 p.m. With 71 degrees, and it's going to cool all the way down to 57 at 11. So make sure you bring your jacket. It's going to be feeling that temperature. Thursday, you're going to have high rain chances for your Halloween evening. Friday, slight rain chances, but it's going to be clearing up Saturday into Sunday. When that cold front comes in, as you notice, the 19-degree difference from Thursday into Friday, as they're going to have partly cloudy skies into the week. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Evan and Zach.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. You know, we've been talking about those warm dew points outside. Mm-hmm. It's so moist and muggy out there today, but somewhere it's not moist and muggy, Southern California.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right in the area we need it the most.
Yes, I know. Those high dew points would really help out all the wildfires that are occurring out there, and occurring at massive rates and quick rates too.
Oh yeah, expanding very quickly. So right now we have 3 primary fires that are happening in Southern California. We got the Kincaid fire, which is over 76,000 acres now. It's been burning for a little while, but it's just out of control. And it's only 30% contained still. Mm-hmm. I mean, when the winds are this fast and temperatures are this dry, it takes forever.
Yes, dry winds especially is the key point there. If there was much more moisture in that area, there would definitely be a lot less of a chance of the fire spreading. But since we have that, we also have other fires in the area. The Getty fire, which is covering up 745 acres, it's only 27% contained. both these fires definitely not even halfway contained.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, they're still out of control. That's what that when they say containment, that's like one side of the fire, but really everywhere, yeah. And then of course the easy fire, as they're calling it, nothing easy about it. It actually started around 5 o'clock this morning local time. It's already 1,300 acres.
wow.
It's just exploded, and that's what they say, explosive growth with these wildfires in these conditions.
This tells you how much and how quickly these fires really
Right.
grow out and expand.
Yeah, so the fires threatened Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. It's shut down the local schools. The fires have shut down the 405. I mean, what are these people going to do? The 405 is shut down. Traffic in LA is bad enough.
I was going to say, that's so bad. The Santa Ana winds usually occur during the season, which also help. It's kind of really
Right,
yeah,
and some of those
help
winds
those
are
effects.
hurricane force. We're talking 70, 80, 90 miles an hour,
So-
and it creates an unstoppable firestorm.
So we're driving they're driving firestorms in the California area at the speed of 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Imagine how quickly that goes. That's why these evacuations have been needed to ordered for a lot of these neighborhoods and
Right.
residential reasons.
Hundreds of thousands of customers are without power, and remember, one building is usually a customer.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're talking millions of people.
Absolutely. But for more on that and the rest of our national look, we're going to go over to Michael at the wall.
Thanks to Evan and Zach, and we're going to take a look at the national picture now. You can see the main story is this cold front moving through the center part of the country. Behind it, you actually have some colder temperatures and some snow, especially in the upper Midwest. But ahead of it, very warm, very humid for this time of year. But again, that change are going to come once that cold front sweeps through the entire East Coast as we go into Halloween night and especially into the first day of November. You start to see that cold front again moving off towards the east, and it'll move through the southeast and mid-Atlantic as we head into this time tomorrow. So much cooler conditions expected for the first week of November. And don't forget, we also have to change our clocks back, so at least it'll start to feel like fall with all that happening. But the temperatures across the region in the country, you can see very cold air behind this cold front with 31 degrees with some flurries in Kansas City right now, 18 in Denver, but then ahead of it, very warm and muggy and summer-like with 81 in Tallahassee, 85 down towards Miami, and 77 in New Orleans. Also ahead of this warm front, this cold front, you have a lot of moisture surging from the Gulf. Dew points well into the 70s, a lot of moisture to work with those showers and thunderstorms. A little bit lower up towards the northeast with dew points in the 50s, but then behind it, very cold Arctic air starting to move in with dew points really low, very dry chapstick dew points with 28 in Kansas City, 1 in Denver, and 15 in Minneapolis. Now, in terms of it feels like, it actually feels a little bit colder out towards Kansas City due to the winds just whipping behind that cold front. So you actually have a wind chill in Kansas City, but then down towards Miami, you actually have a heat index because it's so warm and so muggy ahead of this cold front. You can actually see the dividing line of the heat indices and wind chills with 55 in Memphis and 24 in Kansas City. Now, with satellite and radar, we do have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity ahead of this cold front. Have a little bit of intense thunderstorm activity down towards the Gulf Coast of Florida. But out towards Illinois and Wisconsin and Iowa, we do have some snow behind this cold front. A little bit remnant moisture behind the front, allowing to squeeze out some of those snow showers and flurries, especially in Des Moines and in Davenport, Iowa. Now, down towards the Mid-South and the Tennessee River Valley, we do have some showers and rain associated with the cold front, and this will sweep through as we go through the evening hours, leading to a much clearer but colder Halloween on tap. Finally, up towards the Pittsburgh and Cincinnati area, we do have some rain over there. We do need the rain in the southeast, and good thing we're going to get some rain these next 24 hours. It will improve the drought situation. New drought monitor is going to come out tomorrow. But for tomorrow, notice how the cold front sweeps through the eastern section of the nation with 85 in Tallahassee ahead of it, but much colder with 43 in Memphis. Now let's send it off to Jessica to take a look back into Tallahassee.
Thank you, Michael. It was a cloudy day here in the Panhandle. We had lots of clouds covering the sky, 81 currently outside, really. The sun is nowhere to be seen. We have a little bit of a breeze coming from the south-southeast, 7 miles per hour. Now, we did not see any rain today, but we did see some of that rain yesterday all day. Campus had water all over the place, and tomorrow we're going to see a little bit more rain. So we're starting to catch up, although we're still almost 17 inches behind our average for the year. We're still in that drought. Now, some of this rain is helping the area off to our west. So we do have some showers coming up from the south, and these are all over the Florida Panhandle and even into Alabama. And they're also covering some parts of Georgia, although we're staying relatively dry for this evening. Now, we do have those clouds still hanging around, and over in Bluntstown and even in Mariana and Dothan, they're getting a lot of those showers throughout the evening with actually some pretty heavy rainfall. Although, like I said, Tallahassee is going to remain dry for the night, other than those cloud covers. And then over the next 24 hours, we have those clouds just moving through our area, so it's going to stay relatively wet. And here's that rain that's going to be coming through, making for a wet Halloween. We got rain all over the Panhandle, all over Florida and Georgia and Alabama, just making for that rainfall to really cover our area and help our area, although it's bad timing with trick-or-treating. And now our temperatures, we got an 81 in Tallahassee. It's really in around that 80 region, all around the Panhandle. Down by the coast, they're seeing 80 at St. Mark's, 80 in Carabel, and that 82 in Apalachicola. And our dew points are extremely high. It was so uncomfortable today, extremely muggy, 74 in Tallahassee. And now this is thanks to that warm front that passed through, bringing us that rain and bringing us that moisture, that Gulf air, keeping us moist and warm. We still have those winds from the warm front pushing up from the Gulf, bringing us that moist air. Tonight, it's going to be pretty warm. It's going to be 80 and a little bit, and it's going to only cool off to about 75. Those clouds are going to stick around tonight, but overall, it's going to be a great night to hang out outside before that cold weather and that rain comes in. So once again, trick-or-treating forecast for tomorrow. Unfortunately, it is going to be raining, so maybe instead of trick-or-treating, hang out inside, have a party, and then by the end of the night, we're going to see that cold front as it's going to be 57 tomorrow night after that Halloween. So tomorrow we do have those rain chances. It's going to be a warm day at 85, and then as we're continuing through the week, that temperature drops almost 20 degrees, and our lows are even in the 40s. That's some of the coldest weather we've seen since April of this year. Looking into the beginning of next week, things are going to warm up a little bit, but we're going to see highs comfortably in the mid-70s. I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Michael and Chris at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. And we actually had a record broken in Oklahoma for this month and for the year in terms of tornado counts.
Yeah, one might say, if you're a fan of severe weather, it was a pretty okay tornado season. They observed 146 tornadoes this year so far, with the average they normally get per year is 56.
Yeah, and of course, with Oklahoma being in Tornado Alley, and then in the springtime you get those severe weather outbreaks. The majority of those do happen in April and May, and we had a majority of them happen in May with 106 observed tornadoes in May, and the average is only 20, just over 23 tornadoes.
Yeah. So on average, if we follow the average conditions from November and December, November it's 1.6 and then 0.4, we can't have fraction of tornadoes. So we're actually following, if we follow average trends, we'll get 2 more throughout the next 2 months.
Yeah, that makes sense because as we go into the winter months, you start to get those cold outbreaks coming in from the Arctic and Canada. So you're basically losing your main energy source for these severe weather outbreaks, which is the Gulf of Mexico. So it makes sense why these tornado counts really do go down, because you don't really have the energy and fuel for it.
Yeah, but we broke weather history today. We surpassed the record. It was a tie record before today where they observed a tornado, where the old record was set back in 1999 where they observed 145 tornadoes.
Yep, so that now makes 2019 one of the highest tornado counts on record, and this actually comes after a pretty quiet 2018 where there really wasn't any tornado activity in Oklahoma, especially during the spring months.
Well, the spring actually has the record for most in spring, but with 127, but that's mainly carried because of May had a total of 105 in it alone.
Yeah, and it makes sense with during the spring months you do get those dry line situations where you can get the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and the instability from the Rockies as well.
Yeah, but for more tornado information you can find it on weather.gov, but for now we're going to send things off to Evan for a look around Florida.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thankfully, we won't be seeing many of those tornadoes throughout Florida region. Hopefully, not throughout the rest of the weekend. We are seeing temperatures that can support them, but be warned, should be no such tornadoes, hopefully, within the next 2 to 3 days. We're seeing a bunch the cold front starting to affect areas of Pensacola, especially. Getting down to 80 degrees. We haven't seen that full effect yet because it hasn't fully passed it, but they've basked a little bit of rain earlier today. Regardless, we're seeing areas of Tampa having temperatures around 87 degrees, but look at how muggy it is. We're reaching dew points of up to 80 for areas of Pensacola. Even Orlando and the peninsula sticking to dew points around 73. Our low mark is Miami, which is actually surprising, definitely for the location that it is, around 70 on its dew point. Let's look at, here's where this cold front has been situated. Mainly situated along areas of I-10, more around Mobile. But you can see a lot of this rain in front of the cold front has passed through Kansas City and all the way it's getting up north into areas of Georgia and a little more of the Alabama region. We'll see this start to clear out. Really shouldn't affect us until tomorrow, when more of the rain from the actual cold front will actually be able to develop and pass through our area. Besides that, we were looking a little bit at some easterly pop-up showers into areas of the peninsula, but that is starting to fizzle and disappear. Should be a nice, lovely night for the peninsula. As for this cold front system, we're going to be looking at most of this rain passing up through and up into areas of Georgia and Alabama. But you can see some of these shower activity starting to pop up and should be affecting areas of Panama City and Tallahassee starting more of tomorrow. We'll start to see that front really develop a lot more and pass through the area. Areas of Gaines should be into areas of Gainesville now at around 8 o'clock or so, definitely tomorrow. Should be helping our drought monitor out, although sadly it will be coming on Halloween. But that'll be okay. Hopefully you have that poncho with you on top of your costume, and hopefully your costume and face paint especially should not be ruined. But the drought monitor should be, the rain should definitely help the drought monitor out. But an area that has not been really affected by the drought has been Orlando. Will be nice for their area. Slight chance of rain maybe this weekend, but we're looking at a decrease in temperature of 12 degrees, which should be nice from Thursday into Friday of 12 degrees there. Miami, we're not seeing much of a change. Maybe a slight slimmer of some of those easterlies catching on with some moisture and popping up at 30% chance of rain on Friday or Saturday into their region. As for tonight, we're looking at the rain chances, especially continuing maybe for Pensacola. But as for the rest of the region, we're mainly looking at up degrees in the mid-70s, which will be nice for them. And for the rest of tomorrow, we are looking at those rain chances increasing for the Panhandle, and as for the areas of the peninsula, we're looking warm as ever for Halloween, which will be good for them. But Tyler's going to give us our last local look of the night for our Halloween forecast.
Thanks, Evan. How's it going, Tallahassee? I know it's been a pretty gloomy day, but look at that sunset in the background, finally starting to poke through those clouds there. Finally looking beautiful for tonight. Looking at our current conditions, 81 degrees, obviously very cloudy outside, with those winds coming out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Floor temperatures around the Big Bend region starting to cool down a little bit as we get into the night. Tallahassee's at 81 degrees, St. Mark's at 80, getting up into Donaldsonville, they're getting down to 76 degrees. So the temperatures aren't too bad, but the dew points are very high, so it's feeling very muggy outside, so very brutal conditions whenever you walk outside. Tallahassee with that dew point at 74 degrees, Sumatra getting up to 75. Luckily, the cold front that's going to start pushing through our region is going to start to help us bring down those dew points, make things a little bit more comfortable. Our rain is mainly situated to our west here by Defuniak Springs and Dothan. Tallahassee is mainly just seeing some cloud coverage, not really any rain to speak of for the rest of today and getting into tonight. But whenever we start getting into tomorrow, first tonight going to start to clear up. The clouds are going to start to clear up. But tomorrow evening, we're going to start to see the rain build up a lot. By the time we start getting into those nighttime hours, closer to 9 p.m., Tallahassee, not really under the threat of any rain, but we will still see some cloudy conditions for us here. For tonight, going to get down to 72 degrees in Tallahassee. St. Mark's getting down to 73. Monticello getting down to 70. Going to start seeing those temperatures get down to the 40s, though, as we get into this weekend. For tomorrow, going to get up to 85, and as you can see, all throughout the Big Bend, very rainy, possibly stormy conditions for all of us. But you can really see in Bainbridge, going to start to cool down. That cold front going to make its way through for tomorrow. for this evening, a little bit of a spooky background. 7 p.m. getting down to 80 degrees. By 9, going to get down to 78. And by 11, going to get down to 75. Whoa, the spooky forecast at 8 a.m. tomorrow, going to be 74 degrees. We're going to see the rain pick up as we get to the afternoon. Get up to 85 degrees. We're going to clear up in the evening. We're going to get up to 81. For the week ahead, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to cool down. Get down to 66 degrees by Friday. Conditions are really going to clear up. The rain chance is going to disappear throughout the weekend. As we see for Thursday night and Friday night, even getting to Saturday and Sunday night, those temperatures are going to dip down into the 40s again. So really going to actually start feeling those fall-like temperatures here in Tallahassee. And tomorrow, and later in the week's going to warm up. I'll pass things off to the desk with Evan and Maddie, and they're going to close out the show for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Well, Evan, despite what seems to be coming into the area tomorrow, it seems like we have a great weekend ahead of us.
Should be a great weekend in itself. Great game day in itself. Should be nice and cool, which is the way I like it personally.
Yeah, definitely.
And should be nice and dry, especially.
Exactly. So after that warm front that moves in, I know we've all mentioned it before, bringing those muggy temperatures that we've been seeing the past few days, those are definitely going to move out of the area. Unfortunately, not before spooky Halloween tomorrow, but by Friday it should be really nice.
Could maybe see later in the night on Thursday if you're maybe going way out, but I'm not sure how many houses will be open that late for trick-or-treating. Later in the night, we'll see those rain chances start to dim down, but yeah, for the main majority, we're looking for rainy conditions, sadly.
Right, and a point of focus that we're looking at right now on our 7-day is those lows that we're going to be seeing Thursday evening into even Sunday evening. Lows of getting down to the mid-40s. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. Finally, it has come. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I mean, we've seen lows in the 50s that have really come, but now we're finally getting down in the 40s, which should be very exciting for some fall weather. But if you're looking for more fall conditions and fall pictures, we'll definitely post them on all of our social media outlets, including Twitter and Facebook.
And make sure to tune in every weekday, Monday through Friday on FSU Weather at YouTube.
There you go. There you go. You can also follow us on Instagram for FSU Weather. Send us your costume ideas, especially weather ones. If you're a cloud, maybe a lightning bolt, maybe you need that for next year, or you're doing that right now, that'd be cool.
And send those in. We're going to try to scare Tyler tomorrow. It seems like this forecast has already scared him enough, but definitely send those in.
As for me, I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomason.
And I'm student meteorologist Maddie Seiler. And we're just going to talk a little bit more about our 7-day, because what we're looking at right now is some great conditions. Once that cold front moves in, hopefully we're not going to get too much severe weather that's supposed to be coming through the area.
Yeah, definitely. The good news definitely in the end, after this rain shower tomorrow, we should be looking at dry conditions really for the rest of the week.
It should be nice. What are you planning on dressing up for Halloween, Evan? Do you think your costume's going to be affected by this rain?
I personally wish I would have come up with a costume idea like a cloud or a lightning bolt, but I sadly didn't.
We still have a day or two left to think about it, so you still got time.
Maybe for a party on the weekend.
Party
idea on the weekend,
All
that'll be
right,
better.
so now we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm student meteorologist Maddie Seiler.
I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomason. Have a spooky day tomorrow.